All right, it's rolling. Go.
What episode is this? I know what episode this is. Last episode was episode 21, and you tried to make a joke about it because it was at a casino and a bar.
I did. It's true.
Look who's Johnny on top of it now.
Hey, it landed, though. The joke was good.
Is this it? Is this the podcast?
I mean, it can be.
Okay, so Sprint 4, Double Down. Nick bailed. Nick was not there.
It's
but
true.
This was a good time. We started in Jacksonville at Detail Garage and hung out there for about an hour, checked in, had our driver's meeting, hit the road right through the heart of Ocala National Forest. It was Lovebug City, but a really cool drive. No stop signs, no stop lights, just 2 lanes, just really pretty drive. 0 bald eagles, Nick. Nick is under the impression that it's like the bald eagle capital of the world.
No, listen, I used to go off-roading in Ocala all the time, and
Here we go.
I would see bald eagles every time we went. I even Googled it when we did the last podcast, and it is, in fact, one of the most densely populated bald eagle areas in the state of Florida, if not the Southeast, nay, the world.
Yeah. Hence the 0 sightings of bald eagles when we were there. From there, we went to the Hard Rock Casino down in Tampa. Everybody got a credit of their choice. It was either going to be used on food, souvenirs, shopping, stuff like that, or it could be used in the casino. So everyone did that. I had Nick's credit. Your boy ended up buying me top shelf rum.
Were you at least hungover the next day?
No.
Ugh.
Top shelf, the good stuff.
Did you get sick that night? Anything?
No. Nope.
Ugh, so disappointed.
No, thank you for it.
You're not welcome.
Awesome
You are
time.
not welcome.
What?
You're not
What did
welcome.
you say? Oh, I'm plenty welcome. It was an awesome time. It was a beautiful drive. Again, the whole point of sprints is to get you on roads you may not have driven on before, have a really scenic route. We did just that with Ocala National Forest, and the other part of it is to end in a really cool destination. And I would argue that we did that too when we went to the Hard Rock Casino. Once again, the way the rally was structured was it ended upon arrival technically, but once again, you had these bonds and you had this group of people that the last thing they wanted was to separate. So once we got to the Hard Rock Casino and Hotel, people like checked into the room, settled in, and we were right back together and right back at it, hanging out in the casino and kind of partying the night away together. That's behind us now. And Nick, when I tell you I'm truly excited about what's going on right now, I can't even make you feel the way that I feel. Like, we are less than 3 weeks out from my favorite event.
Well, I remember last
I'm not
year.
going to say our favorite because I don't know what your favorite is.
I mean, honestly, they've all been pretty awesome. But this one, I very distinctly remember last year. It was our first event, and we went in hard. We didn't start small; we started big. But I remember when we got to the track, it suddenly became like way more real. Like, all right, you were about to be out there on the actual racing surface. And then, yeah, they're parade laps, but dude, it was awesome last year. I mean, it was. I'm getting really excited just thinking about all the U-turns in the infield course and like crossing the start finish line at Daytona. I mean, it's a bucket list thing for a lot of people that they never get to do.
If you think for 2 seconds that I'm not going to have a decal on my car at the end of the week that says Day freaking Tona, you're out of your mind.
But dude, I just remember how awesome it was. And like the drive down was fun. Lunch was great. The time on the track was awesome. The drive back was great. The time at Aromas was amazing. Like the whole thing is just going to be awesome. It really is.
This was our first event. It's how we came out of the gates.
Yeah.
And you and I had these nerves about us that we bite off more than we could chew. What's going to happen here? And we had 30 cars. And like you said, the drive, and that kind of caught everybody off guard, because what I'll never forget is pulling into a little gas station just a mile up the road from Daytona International Speedway, and everyone getting out of the car that was with our group at that moment with a shit-eating grin from ear to ear.
Yeah. There were probably 12 of us that ended up at the gas station at the same time or there about the same time.
Yeah.
And not only did we take over the entire gas station, but it was all laughs and high fives all the way around. It was so awesome.
Yeah. And it's just, and by the way, at the time when we did Speedway Boomerang 1, we didn't have this walkie-talkie app on our phones where we were able to kind of connect with one another. Hey, where are you at? Hey, what's going on here? Hey, I need to gas up, or any of this. This was quite literally an unspoken bond.
Yeah. And some
it
of
just
those
happened. You learn this guy over here in the black Mustang, I get what kind of driver he is. I get if he's aggressive, if he's not aggressive, if what his driving style is. I know him without really talking to him right now, and I can keep myself safe because of it because I can see what he's doing. And now multiply that by 30 cars. We had no walkie-talkies that day, and that's another thing that's going to be badass about this year is the walkie-talkies have been pretty popular, and now we're going to have it for Daytona. And you learn these habits. You kind of have this unspoken bond, and nothing like you would think. Okay, like you drove from Jacksonville to Daytona. I do that every year when we go to Disney. Yeah, I get it. It's like it's a stretch of I-95, 100%. You had to be there. And in order for us to get out of the car and literally nothing's even said, we just start laughing, hands on the knees. That's because Nick was twerking. We're high-fiving. Like, it was just freaking awesome because part of it is like the adrenaline rush. You're like, we just got away with that because, I mean, some people are zipping in and out of traffic and stuff. But then you get to Daytona, and some people are like, hey, do we get to run these things wide open or not? First of all, you probably wouldn't know what to do if you ran it wide open there. I mean, I'm going to use your friend Thomas as an example. Here's a guy who, how many times has Thomas run Daytona?
I don't know. He said he's only got to do 1 or 2 more like sanctioned races, and then he gets his card where he can literally do whatever he wants, basically.
They don't let you do that unless you're a professional driver, unless you have a license that says I can control this vehicle.
Yeah, and he had to do some training. You got to wear a helmet. You got to wear, I think he has to wear fire suits when he does his stuff. I mean, that's the kind of the level he's at with it.
That's just because he's a hot mess.
Well, yeah. But yeah.
You hear me, Thomas? Flaming dumpster juice.
Oh, God. Here we go. Did you ever tell the story from Tail of the Dragon or Road to the Dragon? Did we ever tell that story on a podcast?
I think we did.
You don't think we did?
I think we did.
Okay. Well, for those that haven't heard it, real quick. My childhood friend, Thomas, he lived across the street from me. I guess I moved in across from him, but for, I don't know, 15 years. He goes on Road to the Dragon with us, which is where we went to Atlanta Motor Speedway and did the Tail of the Dragon and Harris Casino and Caffeine and Octane and stuff. So Thomas is never met John before. John doesn't know just to what level asshole Thomas can be. So,
and I'm an asshole myself.
Yeah, oh yeah, we all are. But so Thomas is talking to John, and Thomas drives a 2018 Challenger Hellcat wide body.
Yeah. And by the way, keep in mind, we're talking about cars, and everyone loves to talk about their own car. It's part of why we do this. We love our freaking cars.
So Thomas says to John, hey, man, yeah, your car sounds really good. Like, what have you done? And John gets all excited, starts running down the list of, I've done this,
glowing.
And I did that, and blah, blah, blah. And Thomas is like, yeah, it's just crazy. It's just not very fast. And Thomas told me that story later before you did, John. And I almost cried laughing. And I said, you have no idea what a kick in the nuts to his ego that was. And I freaking love it.
100%. Because the way he did it, he's like, man, hey, it started with a compliment. But it wasn't like, hey, car sounds good. What have you done? Like, no, it was like sincere. He's like, dude, your freaking car sounds awesome. What all have you done to it? And I'm like, well, thank you. As a matter of fact. And I start running down a list of mods. Like, and the whole time he's like, yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, no, sure. Yeah. And then he freaking spiked that insult at me at the end. And that's okay.
It's so good. But anyway, so the way we got on Thomas was, yeah, like, they've let him run all out on that course. And I think his brother, too, James, does some autocross and some racing
but
stuff.
But they paid for this training, and they're like one step away from having the license and the certification that says that they can do that.
Correct. Yeah.
So here's the thing. you had the experience driving down there that I just told you guys, right? And Nick was there. He can freaking attest to it.
And listen, by the way, it was a twerk zone. Okay, I had to do it. The rules are rules.
It's rules is rules.
Rules is rules.
But you go through that tunnel, and it's almost unreal. Like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this because your car's kind of angled up because you have to go under the freaking stands. So you're going down, and then you level out, and now you're angled up. And think about it. If you've ever lived up north, you're driving up a hill. You don't know what's at the top of that hill. And all of a sudden, the front end of your car goes down. It dips back down to level ground. And you're looking at the infield of Daytona International Speedway, and all of a sudden the track is next to you out the passenger window and out the driver window. And then behind you, as you keep pulling forward, is the stands. And it's like, it's unreal. But you got to like think like, hey, do we get to run this thing wide open or not? Well, no, but this is like once in a lifetime. Not everybody has even been to Daytona International Speedway as a fan. Some of you have. Some of you have been multiple times. But on the track, maybe. Some of you have on the infield walking around right before a race or pit passes or something like that. But your vehicle, with you driving it on the track, it's unreal. And someone actually emailed us tonight, Nick, and they said, hey, is there an option for us to add on photos of our car while it's on the track? No, there's not an option because we include it. You're going to get pictures of your car driving on Daytona International Speedway, and you'll get that shot of you crossing the start-finish line.
Yeah, the Daytona is very strict about what they allow and don't allow. And really, they make an exception for us that we're allowed to have a photographer at the start-finish line. Typically they've got their own person who, sells those pictures, but as part of our group, we're going to have somebody standing at the start finish line taking pictures, but that's the only place we are going to be allowed to be. So like I told the person in the email, the passengers, and on this event, John, we have more passengers going this year than we had cars last year. And we had like 30 cars last year. So if you're a passenger, by all means, take every picture you can take all the video you can take. We want everyone to get as many pictures of their cars on the track as they can. And if you're driving, you're not gonna be able to take pictures of yourself, but we will have pictures of the cars crossing the start finish line at the Daytona International Speedway. We'll definitely be posting them up and emailing out links and stuff so everyone gets that picture. Action
cameras and GoPros.
Yep, action cameras and GoPros. Make sure they're charged. Make sure you've got them on your car the way you want them. I know some of our participants in the past have had those 360 cameras, which they used at Atlanta, which was an amazing video to have. So if you've got the 360 cams, for sure, put those things on your car. But one thing,
it has to be a road safe mount.
Yes. Yeah. Daytona doesn't joke around either. Like there will be safety crews stationed around the track, making sure, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, but it's
got to be on at all times. The cameras have to be safely mounted and fixed to the vehicle, all that. They have safety cars and crews all over the property on the freaking track with us. And if they see one person doing something they shouldn't be doing, they will shut us all down.
Yeah. So basically the rules, it's essentially no passing, right? That's the main rule is no passing. You stay in line. But when we're going through the infield, I remember.
What's the reason for that, Nick?
Safety, because we're not professional race car drivers.
But there's one big looming thing that people don't realize, and we're going to talk about it at the drivers' meeting. And this is going to sound doom and gloom, like it's to scare you. It's not to scare you. It's just so that you're aware, and you're not asking why we have these rules and why Daytona has these rules in place. Your insurance, it stops at the parking lot.
Yep.
Unless you have purchased track insurance for the day, the second your vehicle, no matter how good the policy is and what your coverage is, pulls into that parking lot, you're no longer covered.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone wrecks their vehicle, it is on them.
Yep.
If someone wrecks your vehicle, it's on the two of you guys. Like, your insurance will not cover it. So the reason we say no passing and we have these rules when we do these laps, it's because you don't know the skill level of the driver next to you and what you or them are willing to do to be in front of you. So if everyone stays in line, there's no passing, you're just driving your skill level at that point.
I think the perfect way to explain this is when we went to Autobahn and did racing, And this is not about you rear-ending me at full speed trying to take me out before we went on Road to the Dragon.
His
But
head still doesn't sit perfectly straight on his neck, by the way.
that's a fact. But I mean, if you think about any time any of us have gone to do go-karts of any sort, and you're trying to come up on the inside to pass somebody, and the person who's on the far outside just cuts in real hard to hit the apex of the corner, not even realizing you're there. Now, granted, I know people are going to be a little more reckless when they're driving go-karts, but that's a real life example of just how innocently something can happen. Someone who you might think is way out of the way doesn't expect that someone's coming up on the inside, or similarly going around the outside on a pass, and things can happen. So the rules are the rules.
Very, very simply, every car and every set of tires handles differently, and someone might corner wider than you're expecting them to because you don't know their vehicle. Okay, so just stay in line, and you will have this unbelievable experience, and you will get, like, don't get out there thinking you're going to showboat, you're going to show off, you've got something to prove to anybody. Just follow the rules. You're going to have this once-in-a-lifetime badass experience, and you want to brag, you want to be the man, post that picture the next day of you driving your car across the start-finish line. And that is the brag.
And also, don't tailgate the person in front of you. Don't leave an egregious amount of room, but leave a safe amount of room, and I promise you, you will be able to get on it, and you're going to have a blast. I'm just thinking back to when we did it last time. It was like shocking how much fun it was. It's going to be so great. I can't wait.
You glanced over at my speedometer at one point, and you just kind of looked at me like, this isn't what we talked about.
Right. This is a little faster than they said we were going to be going.
It'd be like that sometimes. And what happens, and we've told you guys this before, but just so you know, because this is the first year for a lot of people, man. We have more than 50 cars right now.
Yep.
It's badass. What happens is when you do this infield road course, you're on the track. You are on the track crossing the start-finish line. You've got pit road to your left. You're moving. You're going. The second pit road ends, you're hooking a hard U-turn into the infield, and it's like a series of hairpin turns.
Yeah, because honestly, you pop back out before turn 1 on the apron, so you're only going forward on the track like 500 feet, but it takes like, I don't know, 2.5 minutes to get there. Like you're going through all kinds of twists and turns to get back almost to where you came off the track.
Yeah. So what happens is, even though you're not passing and you're following in this line of traffic, what happens is you go through that hairpin turn. You got to slow down. There's no one taking a U-turn with the pedal to the floor. So you got to slow down to take these turns, and then you get on the accelerator, and now you're coming out of the turn, and the car in front of you is already way ahead of you. It creates naturally these gaps. Well, now you can get on it until it's time for you to brake for the next turn. And so these gaps are naturally created, and it's what lets you have this really just awesome experience on the track. But I am so freaking excited, and it kind of hit me because I've been all about, like, all right, sprint for it, we're going to gamble. I mean, guys, you can't see me right now. Nick can because it's on camera, but I have a poker table sitting behind me. Like, I've been all in on like gambling in casino mode and sprint 4 and everything. And then I get home and it just hit me, and I was like, oh my God, I'm less than a month away from Speedway Boomerang. And now it's almost like people don't realize it either. I was at Cars and Coffee the other day, and I looked at somebody and I pointed and I was like, hey, 3 weeks. And they're like, yeah, for what? I'm like, Speedway Boomerang? Oh, yeah. People don't realize it's 3 weeks away. We're less than 2 weeks away from cutting off registration if it doesn't sell out this week.
You know, we announced like 24 hours ago that there were 13 spots remaining, and already 4 of them have been picked up. So 6 of them have been picked up?
6.
Ooh, I should check the website more.
You should.
Yeah. But I mean, it's it's going to fill up. So if you are listening to this and you're somebody who was thinking about it and you're not really sure, I mean, you got to get on it now. If you're going on this thing and you're listening to this and you got a friend who's on the fence or maybe doesn't know about it, the time is now, because it's going to fill up.
That's right. We here's what a timeline looks like for us right now, just so you guys know a little behind the scenes stuff. Registration will close if spots are still available on Saturday the 28th. All right, that's less than 2 weeks from the recording of this podcast.
And it'll go up
On
tonight.
Tuesday this week. What's that?
I said the podcast will go up tonight, so it's less than 2 weeks from today.
On Tuesday of this week, there's no more ordering for shirts. We've got the official shirt for Speedway Boomerang 2. It's got the boomerangs on the front, Genesis Rally logo, and be part of it on the back. That stops on Tuesday. We're going to get those orders together. They go into production on Thursday of this week. Weekend, next week, and then it stops registration for Boomerang 2, if there's spots available still at that point, next weekend.
Yep.
So that's kind of a timeline. A lot of people were asking us, hey, when are we going to get more information on it? An email went out tonight. You should already have it at this point, letting you guys know that timeline that I just kind of ran down, and also letting you know on Sunday the 29th, you're going to get another email that says, hey, it's Rally Week, and here's everything you need to know to show up for Speedway Boomerang 2. There's also next weekend, by the way, not next weekend, I'm sorry, the weekend of Speedway Boomerang on October 5th. That happens to be the annual Cars and Coffee for Jacksonville that happens at the Jaguar Stadium downtown, Nick.
Yeah, TIAA Bank Field. And I've had a couple people actually reach out to me saying, hey, what time are we meeting? Because we want to go to the Cars and Coffee. You're going to have plenty of time to go to Cars and Coffee. What I would honestly recommend, if you're listening to this, is post up in the event group for Speedway Boomerang 2.
Just about to say that.
Yeah, and coordinate parking together, riding out together to Pussers, and just start the rally early. I mean, hey, why not? And when you guys
it happened last year, you and I were checking in vehicles as drivers are showing up, and it was kind of like a slow trickle, and then all of a sudden, boom, like cars just like pulled into the parking lot. We get slammed at the check-in table. Come to find out, you guys had a mini rally to the rally.
Right. Yeah, so I would definitely say if you guys are planning on going to the Cars and Coffee at TIAA Bank Field, get together and figure out a time to leave together and come on over to Pussers.
I tell you what, how about you and I post it in the event page and say going to Cars and Coffee that morning in the comments below, coordinate your plan.
Yeah, we'll do that. Another thing I want to talk real quick, you mentioned registration. So with this many cars and participants, you'll want to get there on time and be ready to get checked in, because it's, we're going to be methodical and we're going to go through it in great detail because we've got a lot of new people. We're going to have some questions to answer. We're going to just make sure that everything's all buttoned up and the waivers are signed and the information we need is all there. So, registration is going to take a little time this year, but like always, you'll get a wristband. So once you got your wristband, you got it on, we'll know you're good. And just get there on time for sure.
Can I tell them the other thing that they're going to get? Can I tell them? I'm so excited.
I guess.
We ordered backpacks this week.
These backpacks. You guys have to listen. I hope you like them because we argued about them. so hopefully you like the backpacks, the little drawstring bags you're going to get, because it
may or may not have. I will not confirm or deny. Been called at one point a backpack hating sumbitch. But they're on their way. They're on their way.
They'll be here.
I'm excited about that.
And for those of you that have done our events in the past, new wristbands, different colors. Yeah.
No sneaking in anymore.
No.
You know who you are.
Yeah, Brody. I mean, no, people that are not named. But no, yeah, new wristbands, new colors. It's gonna be great. So you guys who have 7 or 8 of our wristbands already, you can add a new one to the mix, which is good.
Yep. Couple other things. I mean, again, I can't stress enough how excited we both are for Speedway Boomerang 2, but a couple other things real quick. Immediately after Speedway Boomerang 2, there is a badass car show that's starting to come together right now, and it is for Jacksonville area Mopar, and they are raising money for what is it? Canine for Warriors. I almost said Pistons for Warriors. The show is called Pistons and Paws. And all the money raised for that event is going to go to Canine for Warriors. But that is a badass show that's starting to come together. So we've posted it on our page. You can go check it out. They've posted it to their page. You can go check it out to get more information. Also, Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Arlington, if you go to their Facebook page, they've posted about it. And you can get the information on how you can pre-register your car for that. We'll be there 1 week after Speedway Boomerang 2. And then right on the heels of that is our Rallyversary. We haven't talked a whole lot about that ever since we really announced it. We had how many over 100 people.
Yeah, we initially, not initially, we had 50 spots total. Harry at Atlantic Coastal Detailing got some because he, thanks to him, everyone can go do the laps at Atlanta for free, Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I'm talking to Harry, and I'm like, we really want to do this. Our birthday is coming up, and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, you know what? Call Atlanta. Let's do it. I'm like, what do you mean? Not that easy, Harry. It's not that simple. We got a plan that say, no, I got it. So Atlantic Coastal Detailing has paid for Atlanta Motor Speedway for us to bring 50 of our friends with us.
Yep. So we announced we've got this awesome thing coming up, Rallyversary. Registration for the for the random selection to get in is open, and all of a sudden, wham! It was a flood of registrations.
I turned notifications off that night.
Yeah, I had to as well. It was crazy. So yeah, we had well over 100 people try to get in. We picked all the spots randomly, and we're gonna be opening up a couple of spots because some people who once were able to go that were randomly selected are now no longer able to go. So
can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
There's something that pisses me off here.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully y'all have a lot of time because this is going to go on.
No, this is quick. Okay. But every freaking rally, right? Pick your head up. Don't slouch it. I'm freaking talking to you. Yeah, now he's under the table. Listen, every rally, we're always like, okay, hang on. Except for a handful of you, and you know who you are. We're like, where the hell are the Mustangs? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Every freaking rally, I'm like, scratch my head. I'm like, where are the freaking Corvettes? I get there's a few of you. Yes, we have a Shelby GT350R that goes with us pretty religiously. There are a couple, Z06 Grand Sport Corvettes that come with us pretty religiously, but not the turnout that Mopar has with us. And we're like, where the hell are the Mustangs? Where the hell, Nick? I am freaking pissed. Where are the freaking Corvettes? Where are the Camaros? Where are these imports? Where are these cars? I don't know, man. I don't know. We reach out to these groups. You guys come on, come with us. And nothing ever happens. All of a sudden, Harry at Atlantic Coastal Detailing, he hooks us up for Atlanta Motor Speedway. We have the most diverse group going right now that we've had at any rally.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
We've got Mercedes, we've got BMW, we've got Corvettes, we've got a freaking Camaro Hennessy ZL1. We've got Mustangs. You name it, we have it this time. And I'm so happy about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad. I want this diversity. I love these badass cars. All it took was a free rally. Who knew?
So yeah, that's funny.
End of rant.
That was shorter than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I mean, Harry, and by the way, if anyone out there is looking for a detailer, Atlantic Coastal Detailing, check out their Facebook and check out some of the stuff that Harry does. It is freaking unbelievable. And since he came in and sponsored one of the plates on the belt for rally games that we did, and some of our participants have either won a detailing through him or now are having him come out and do their vehicles regularly. I mean, it's freaking impressive the job that guy will do. It is honestly amazing.
Yep. I would suggest, let me see, how many Fridays between now and Boomerang? 2 or 3? Oh
boy. I don't math or calendar well, so let me look.
I think it's 2.
1, 2, 3. 3.
There's 3. I just said that.
Yeah.
Okay. If I was you and you're listening to this podcast and you is you, right? I would try to get on the calendar for one of the only 3 Foam Fridays that are left between now and Speedway Boomerang. If you don't know what Foam Friday is, go look at Atlantic Coastal Detailing's Facebook page. Foam Friday, this guy is booked from sun up to sundown, and he's foam cannoning. Cannoning?
I think that's the right word, yeah.
Cannoning is a word?
Yeah, sure.
It is now. Foam cannoning cars. And he gets it done so well. It's such a great job. So I would get on the calendar now. But speaking of Rallyversary, if you guys are wanting if you were one of the ones that won and you were selected, you received an email that said congratulations, you're in. There was a registration process. There are a few more empty slots. So Nick, I think you and I are back to the fishbowl drawing names, right?
Yep, we are. And just
there's still other ways to win your way in. We're going to give away a slot at Speedway Boomerang, actually, at the after party.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guys over at Jacksonville Area Mopar, they have their hands on an entry as well. And that'll be at their car show, Pistons and Paws, on October 12th. Rallyversary is going to be badass. We have probably, I don't know, Nick, 3 or 4 spots that we need to redraw out of the old fishbowl?
Yep, that is correct. And there are people who are chomping at the bit. Every time we make a post about it, they're like, who didn't show up and how can I get that spot? So
so same rules apply. We're gonna pick a couple more people, and then you'll have an expiration date, but you got to claim your spot, which means be on the lookout for the email, follow the instructions in the email, and register your car. Otherwise, just like a handful of people that already won and lost their spots, your spot will be forfeit as well. But Rallyversary is going to be badass. We will, as we get closer to the event, you know who you are if you've won. You will receive an email, like always, with the information that you need to know. But what we can tell you right now is we're going to be starting in Jacksonville at Aroma's Cigar on Southside Boulevard. We will check in, have our drivers meeting. There will be parking for everybody, and there will be food available for purchase because it's kind of an awkward start time we have. It's like a little late to be breakfast, but a little early to be lunch. But if you don't eat, you're going to be hungry because you're going to get left in the dust when we leave for Atlanta. So it's like an awkward time, but food will be available, cheap from Aromas for purchase. And then we hit the road, and we're going to go up there. Nick and I are not going to announce it right now. They won't let me announce it right now. But we have a really cool plan that's coming together for, is it a Saturday? It is Saturday night in Atlanta for us to have a good old time. Hotel is available. Nick is going to take the time right now to remind you about hotels. Go.
Yeah, if everyone that's already RSVP'd for the event, you should have gotten a link with the coupon code when you went to the page to RSVP. Just make sure you book a hotel. You can stay at ours and use our group code. You can room together with people that are going that you know. You can use a Marriott Rewards card. You can do whatever you want to do, but just make sure you book your hotel because that is on you. So make sure it's done so there's no issues that night because we are staying the night over in Atlanta.
I will say this, regardless of what hotel you stay in, same rule apply, just like when we did Road to the Dragon. You still got to be at the driver's meeting the next morning at the hotel we're staying in. So save money, use your points. Like Nick said, do whatever you got to do for your accommodations. But if you're going with us, you still got to be at the driver's meeting the next day. That's when we'll hand you your route, your itineraries. We do that day by day so that everybody stays together and everything. So that is the plan for that. And then we will hit Atlanta Motor Speedway, 5 laps, picture of you crossing the start-finish line, pictures in Victory Lane.
And that's just awesome. Not you in Victory Lane. That is, we literally line the cars up when we're done with the laps. You
stage your car.
And you drive your car up into Victory Lane, and you get out of your car, and you get your picture of you and your car in Victory Lane. We've tried to do this at other tracks, and they tell us the only cars that get into Victory Lane are cars that win races. So you're going to be in a rarefied air at Atlanta Motor Speedway with your car in freaking Victory Lane. It's so awesome.
Carl Edwards style backflips off of your window not required.
Not encouraged. Don't do that.
No, not encouraged, but required.
No, they're not required either. Told you that. Don't do those.
I bet you couldn't even make it all the way around.
I'd probably over-rotate and slam my head into the ground.
You would okay. You've been accused of a lot of things before. Over-rotating on a backflip is not one of them.
Hey, you get as much you get all my weight moving, and there ain't no stopping me. It's just it's going.
Old over-rotating Nick over here.
Yeah, hey, I could do backflips with the best of them. I'm just not showing anybody.
That's it, man. Speedway Boomerang 2 is less than 3 weeks away. I am so friggin' pumped. I mean, this is, by the way, our largest rally we've done. So it's going to be awesome. More than 50 cars. What the hell are you doing?
I just went to take a drink, and there was a fly floating at the top of my drink, so I spit it back out into my cup.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God. I'm leaving this in, too.
In an exhibit somewhere behind glass.
I'm not editing this out. It's going to stay in.
Good God.
All right.
Anyways, this is our largest event so far, our largest rally, more than 50 cars, Daytona International Speedway. We came out of the gates hot with Speedway Boomerang, and you guys wouldn't leave us alone after it happened. Said, are we doing it again? When are we going again? When are we going again? It's October 5th. There's less than 10 spots remaining. We're less than 3 weeks away. Speedway Boomerang 2. Arrgh.